Bruh, like, you really do have to like, we have to do it because our words will linger.
Forever.
They words cut. They words cut, bruh. Like, they'll say something and take you to a whole different mind state, a whole different space. And they, like, sometimes they won't even go back and be like, I just said that while I was mad.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's the way they thinking. That's what they felt, right?
I don't give a fuck.
But ours,
A poison.
bruh, and you ain't even said nothing crazy. He be like, you know, I just don't like the way that dress fitting on you.
Ooh.
So I'm fat, nigga.
Nigga,
Like,
you done said everything.
And 10 years, like we were talking about, 15 years from now,
Bro.
10 years from now, you like, oh yeah, because does this dress fit okay? You like, what the fuck is you talking about? Because you remember 10 years ago?
Bro, you can say you look nice today.
What? I ain't look nice yesterday?
Nigga, like, God damn.
I ain't look nice to you yesterday?
It's
You sure being specific.
it's
I like you in yellow. Oh, so all the other colors in the rainbow?
bro,
Green don't look good on me?
bro.
It can
I
get,
like you in yellow.
it can get touchy.
Yeah.
It can get touchy.
But look, that's part of your consciousness and who you dealing with. So now you learn, hey.
You know who?
Huh?
Know who? Your audience.
Your audience.
Exactly. Know your audience. Because now, you take that today off. You look nice. In your head is today. But she don't hear that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy it's got to be that touchy. But
These are the thoughts
you
of
start-
Wallace. These are not the thoughts of Dropping Dimes podcast.
that's cool. It's coming out of my voice.
I agree.
I'll put my name on it, stamp it, whatever you want me to do. 'Cause
I agree.
That's
Put it
real.
on a t-shirt.
I will.
I
Shit.
agree.
Wallace Miles.
Wallace Miles. I said that shit because it can be that touchy, and you don't know, especially when you meet somebody new, where it comes from. So once you learn it, you just make the adjustment. Now, of course, it's tough to do, but if you love that person, that's what we're talking about right now. Somebody you love, you'll slowly start trying to make that adjustment because at the end of the day, you realize this is hurting them. Like Jamie makes comments about, or my wife makes comments about, like, smart sometimes. And I come from a space where I had the negative self-talk about my mind. Like, I felt like I was a little slow. I caught on the thing slow. It took me a lot longer. So when she says stuff like that, it takes me a second to get through it. And she started to realize I can't say about smart, like intelligence, to Wallace. Or at least if I do, let me clarify. Because that's just, I don't know where it came from. I was normally a decent student, but somewhere in my history, I got to a point where I was like, I'm not as smart
as everybody else.
So when she says something like that, it hits.
Yeah.
But now she's aware of it, and it's like she said something. I just want to make sure you took that as a joke. Like she did that shit last week, and I'm like, damn, she got to do that, but it's real. Once you start realizing who you're dealing with, make the adjustment because it's part of the love that you supposedly have for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What about you? You talked about you already?
I think, of course, I think the power of the tongue is definitely real. But I do think, like I was saying, it's about being specific. Huh?
I said, yeah, you went, but go again, nigga.
Oh. Did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought I had just cut.
Yeah, I thought he tapped in on mine.
Yeah.
My bad, I can't
But,
tell.
I know you ready to
Nigga
go.
talk so much. I don't know.
Well, that's been another episode of Dropping Dimes podcast.
Oh no, we got somewhere else to go with this conversation.
I definitely think it's real. It's just about being specific, man. Even when you talking to yourself, like, you ain't necessarily got to be in your in context when you're talking to God.
That's a good point.
Be specific with yourself.
Sure.
Like, it can be something that, and like when you're talking about speaking into other people, it can be something as just simple as when you speak to people. Like, I know an older guy, man. He called everybody, like all young men, kings. He be like, "What's going on, king?" And like at first, when you young, you like, man, come on, chill, G. But then you start to get older, you realize just how important that is for people who've been told that they were 3/4 of a man to now hear king all the time. You know that feed? You know what I'm saying?
That's why you hear these people with these names these days. Like T.I.'s son is named King.
Yeah.
He's been called king every day of his entire life and will forever.
Yeah.
What does that do to a psyche or a proudness, a confidence in a person?
Have you seen him?
I bet you my man is confident, even in whatever he got going on, big teeth and all. Confident. But I'm just saying, like, that's why you name somebody, or the name has power, and like you figure out what your name means, and you hear that every day. Like, my sister hates her name because she found out what it meant. I'm not gonna tell you what it meant, but she's like, I don't want to be named that because that's what I hear when people call me that now. But go ahead, my bad.
Nah, you cool. But I definitely think, like even the smallest use of words when dealing with other people is detrimental. It's just as simple as just being kind. Just be kind to people. You don't know what they got going on. You don't know what they came out of. You don't know what they walking into. If I'm kind to you and you walk into a meeting and get chewed out, it might not hit you the same.
Right.
It might not hit you the same.
I walked in a little higher, so if I came down here, at least I'm even.
Exactly.
But if I walked in and you didn't cut me down in the morning, the rest of the day I might come out of this bitch on the ground.
Like you go in, you have a bad day at work, and you come home and you hear something good, you hear something sweet.
Yeah.
You ain't even gotta be home. You stop at the mailbox. Somebody, hey man, them shoulders coming in, ain't them, my boy?
Man, listen.
At 9 o'clock at night, that just feel
You know what I'm
good.
saying? Like, especially after I
been
hit
putting
these
in the work.
shoulders today. Yeah, I hit these shoulders. I've been actually working on my shoulders. So
I agree.
for somebody to hit and to me, somebody who don't owe me anything.
It's crazy you say that. This older lady, she probably in her 50s, and I'm walking through the retreat this weekend. I had the change of cleats, the hoodie, and the hat on. I bought me some dunks so I could be cool like you guys. But I'm walking through there, and she like,
what color?
You don't know.
I bet they got some blue in them.
They dark gray, light gray, and white.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
That was perfect. But she stopped
Too easy,
me
right?
while I'm walking through, and she just said, "Hey Wallace, come here real quick." And she's like, "I just really admire your swag." And you know, I might not be the most swaggy person that steps out the house, but for her to say that unprompted, that gave me so much more confidence in the space.
Nigga, I'm fresh.
But I was fresh in my mind that day. Like, I was confident, and honestly, I probably needed that confidence for what I told y'all I went through this weekend.
Yeah.
But you never know what somebody needs, and for her to give me that shit gave me another elevation of myself to be able to step to the mic like I told you I did.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was crazy.
Oh, you stepped to the mic the day you were fresh.
No,
okay.
This is 2 days
That's why I was easy.
2 days later. 2 days later.
Like when somebody give them a
She
sweet
kept me floating
16.
2 days.
Okay.
But I think it's just important, man, just to make sure like we just gotta work on being kind to people. Kind to whether it's strangers or your own folks. Like, man, because like I said, the simplest of things can tweak somebody's day in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? But it's also the same for yourself.
For sure.
Especially if you don't come from an environment where you were affirmed when you were younger. Sometimes you gotta give it to yourself. I used to write affirmations on my window.
Pat yourself on the butt.
Yeah, tell myself good job.
Yeah.
Like I used to write my affirmations on my mirror, my bathroom mirror, so that I saw it every morning and I read it out to myself.
Right.
So that I would remind myself, like, bro, like you really doing this.
Right.
You're doing a good job at this. Like you operate in abundance and overflow. You know what I'm saying? Like I gave myself those talks so that I can continue to live in that, because you ain't gonna walk outside every day and somebody gonna tell you your shoulders hitting or your swag on point today.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to give yourself that.
Yeah.
Like I came from.
Gotta be able to buy yourself some Dr. Pepper.
Because you gotta find your own happiness, right? I came from a time where coaches weren't really hitting you with good jobs.
Hell no.
But they'll come lay your ass out if you did a bad job, right? So
They ain't had no Instagram live then.
but they also didn't like they felt like some of the coaches at that time felt like if I say too many good things, he'll get in his head and he'll forget all the shit I done taught him because now he filled up with all this good stuff. So let me keep him leveled out. So as a kid, if your parents ain't the type to feed into you with words, who will?
You know you got Brandon on the team. He gonna talk shit about you the whole damn day.
Shit.
And the coach can't give you shit.
As much as I talk shit though, believe it or not, I was the first nigga to lift you up. Like that was the only way you make it through. Like so.
What happened?
But what? I'm still the same way. I don't have to do that for you though.
How you
Me
know?
talking shit to you gets you hype.
I'm words of affirmation. That's my love language.
But it
man.
must be the opposite, goddamn, 'cause it don't work on the field.
Like, but
That bitch be killing me.
like
But what you do? You prove me wrong. That's it.
bro, I tell you, like I be doing that at work. Excuse me, and I think the first couple times I did it, like people was like, "You trying to be funny?" And I was like,
You did what? Gave somebody a compliment?
"Yeah." Like I'll tell them like, "Good job." Like
I do that shit at work
and they-
randomly.
sometimes they fuck with people like because they
not used to it.
Yeah. So like as they ain't got used to it, then they started to do it for other people because now I know how it made me feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now I want to get at to somebody else.
Yeah.
And like, bro, like it's catchy, man. It's catchy.
It's
And
infectious.
some motherfucker be needing it, don't even realize it though. Like I'll be passed by because my job, that shit's stressful. I done told y'all.
Hell yeah.
So you can look at somebody and tell like they're too much in their head, and I'll walk past. Hey, you got this shit? You straight? And they be like, bro, thank you. Like you got it. Like
That's
just go
big.
and finish this shit off.
That's big.
But yeah, because I know the feeling. Like you
Yeah.
can literally look at somebody and be like, oh, they in their head about this shit. Like, hey, you straight, bro?
Yeah.
All right, bro. Hell yeah.
No, I know. I know
good.
I know where the freakazoid wanted to take it. You know what I'm saying?
Are we going there?
But so same power of the tongue.
I gotta be the freakazoid.
Because you hear.
I'm the one that got the least amount of bodies.
You don't know that. What's wrong with him? That was crazy to say.
Yeah,
Power,
see how you
power,
speaking down on people?
I'm speaking up on you.
Nah, that's the wrong
Get them numbers.
The wrong up, G.
I mean, I'm just saying I'm low. That's all.
15.
I'm lower than that.
But the same
I'm lower than
power
the
of the
pregnant man out
tongue,
here. I'm
the
low.
same tongue is the same tongue you can send your person out in the world feeling a little bit better about themselves in the morning.
Get that splat at.
You feel me?
This how I'm feeling inside. Every line that I ride, I just hope I don't cry. I'm just spitting.